Hi guys, today I'm doing a game called Not Quite Diablo. I'm kidding. It's Path of Exile. I don't even know how to say this, but I'll say Diablo 3 all the way. But I do like the game. I have played it. I play it on computer. It was amazingly fun. I played it. Let's just say every time the Diablo servers go down and you're waiting for the new season to start, this is the game I play for those 2-3 weeks straight. It is fun enough to just completely play. There are some awesome aspects that Diablo doesn't have. Diablo is for babies. It is for babies. Everyone says that on the community, that there's only X amount of skills to choose from and your character isn't that customizable. There's always these 3 set classes or builds you always see. Path of Exile goes above and beyond that. It's 500,000 billion skills to choose from and 500,000 billion ways you can ruin your character that you've spent countless hours on. And that's the only reason I don't like it. I love having so many things to choose from, but it's to the point where if you do go down a wrong path, your character will be severely crushed by your decision. So I've always said that with Path of Exile, the first time you play it is just so you can understand the mechanics and how to play it. The second time you play it is so you can kind of understand how the skills work and what to pick and what not to pick. And then the third time you play it is finally getting somewhere where you can progress. So it is bad that you almost have to spend 40 hours just to get to that point where you're just like, okay, I think I finally understand what's going on. But once you do understand it, it's amazing. There are great different customizations you can go through. And obviously, if I didn't say before in the past, it's like Diablo. It is an action RPG, so it is a loot game. You're just going around killing things, getting loot. You level up your skills, get skills, and pick whichever ones you want. This is really cool because it doesn't really have a class. It just throws you in there. I mean, there are some classes you pick, but as far as whether you want to be proficient in bows or whether you want to be proficient in magic, anyone can do that. You can pick a warrior or a crusader, Templar, is that what they're called? You can pick a Templar and you can make them learn black magic. If you just, it's going to take quite a bit of points to go all the way back around the circle, and it's kind of like Final Fantasy X with the sphere grid. That's exactly what the skills look like. There's just spheres everywhere, and you get to go and route. This will be the black magic sphere, this will be the white magic sphere. It's, in a nutshell, that's kind of what it is. So it's really fun. The computer game I can play for hours, and I like I said, it is good. It's Diablo 2 and Path of Exile are completely different, but insanely the same. So if there's something you quite don't like in Diablo, you'll probably like this, and vice versa. And I'm pretty much split down the middle. If I want a good challenge, I play Path of Exile. If I want to sit down and watch a movie while I'm playing, I play Diablo. So they're both great for their own things. I just wish there was a happy median. Hopefully there'll be a game soon where there's lots of choices to pick from, but not lots of ways to destroy your character. I love the potion abilities in Path of Exile. You can have 5 different potions, and you can have a mana potion, a healing potion, a speed potion, a potion that'll prevent poison. So there's a lot more choices to pick from that. It almost goes back to the Diablo 2 thing where you have a belt and you can have tons of potions, but this one is more of a cooldown instead of just completely getting off of your belt. And there's different factions you can do, so there are a lot of things you can do with the game, and you can spend hundreds of hours, and it's kind of the same layout as Diablo. So if you're playing Diablo and you're going into Path of Exile, it does have that familiar, oh, this is how I get items, oh, this is what gems are, oh, this is what waypoints are. I know all this stuff. Obviously the gems are completely different leveling up system. You can actually level up the gems, and the gems are what your skills are. So your actual activated skills or passive skills are on your gems, and you put your gems in your socketed items. So it's customization out the wazoo. There's literally millions and billions. It's like the Rubik's Cube. There's over a quizillion different combinations you can do. So in that regards, it is the best in its game, because there's just so many different choices to choose from. But I decided to do my review more on the recently released PlayStation 4. I was hyped for the PlayStation 4 because I did like the game enough where I was just like, yes, it's going to be amazing. But sadly, this was the worst version of the game. It took everything that was good and got rid of it, and leaving you with only the bad stuff. I don't like the PlayStation 4 version. It's extremely buggy. I've had it crash on me. Sometimes it says like, click here to join a game, but you can't really tell if it's an X or a check mark because the circle's so small, and I'm like, well, what's that gonna do? Am I gonna join a game or am I not? So the UI's wonky, and not being able to have a cursor is really horrendous. In that regards, Diablo on the console has this beat out. With Diablo, I can play on every single console. With Path of Exile, I will only play on PC. They didn't even add couch co-op for Path of Exile. There's no cursor. When Diablo converted to console, they had a nice item management. It was weird at first, but once you got used to it, you can really speed through the menus. But Path of Exile, they had the same menu. They just ported it over, but without the ability to have a cursor. So I know sometimes I completed a quest and it said, this is your reward. Which gem do you want to pick? Do you want to pick fire gem, ice gem, or lightning gem? And you're like, I don't know. Let me look to see what gems I have. Oh, wait, I can't because I don't have a cursor, and I can't put my cursor over the gem that I have currently equipped. So in the PlayStation, you have to back out, open your menu, then go to the item to see which gems you had, then to back out to go back to the quest person to say, okay, yeah, this is the gem I want. It's really horrendous. And also, this is more of a jab towards just any game that does this and not Path of Exile, but I absolutely hate games where you cannot pick the same name as anyone else. So if you say, yeah, I want Stork. We're sorry. There's already a Stork on the server. Well, with Diablo, there's 5,000 Storks, and you just have a gamer ID, and that gamer ID is unique. I don't see why in this day and age you would ever have a server where you can't name someone Bob and have 50,000 Bobs running around. So literally, when I played on the PlayStation, my name was hand across the keyboard. AFGHTKUQSZ. That was the name of my character because everything else was taken. I hate that. I'd rather spend more time actually playing a game I like than figuring out hours and hours what my name's going to be because everything's taken. But like I said, that's not Path of Exile specific. That's just any game that has that. With the PS4, the tutorials... I don't like tutorials that force you to do what they say. If it pops up and says, yeah, you're low on health, you should use a health potion, that's cool. But with this one, I honestly thought my PlayStation froze because it literally froze the game, and the little use a health potion was in very small font way up in the upper left corner, so I didn't see it at first, so I just thought my game just froze. You just froze mid-strike, and I'm like, what's going on? And then finally, when I realized it, I used a potion and everything was fine again. But to force you to... If they're going to force you to do it, they should at least put up a huge menu saying, this is what happened. We're pausing the game. And then the other annoyance is when I leveled up on the PlayStation version, it basically said, open up your menu so you can locate your skills or whatever. So I thought, well, if it's freezing the game nonstop, I can pause it. So I paused it. And then it was trying to explain to me the skills, where to put the skill, and then I died. And I was like, so you're not even going to pause the game when you force me to do the tutorial, and the game's going to keep just going in the background while monsters attack me, so... I mean, it's not that bad because obviously when you're done with the tutorial, that never happens again. But that was just annoying. Other than very, very buggy. I've found lots of bugs, getting kicked off the server lots of times. And again, this is not the PC. I'm talking just the PS4. The PC is a mighty fun game, but the PS4, there's too many things to click on in the menus, and you accidentally opening up menus, and you got to go back to menus, and picking up the items just seem weird to me because it's like triangle instead of X, so the buttons are really weird, and you can't change the buttons. It's really bad. They really need, especially with the PlayStation 4, since it has the pad, a lot of these issues can be fixed if they just simply made it so where when you use the pad on the PS4 controller, it turns it into a cursor. Like 90% of all the weird menu crap would be fixed if they did that. The menus, again, are very hard. The item management is really hard to get used to. On the computer it flows so well because you just put your cursor over it, but without a cursor you might as well be playing a text-based game when you open up your menus. It's bad. Always accidentally clicking on things. With a PC I never had this problem. I don't know if I just was lucky and never realized it, but with the PlayStation, anytime you try walking up to a vendor or a waypoint, there's already like 5 other people just standing there. And I always accidentally click on the person. I'm like, no, I don't want to see their profile. I want to click on the vendor. I'm trying to get to the vendor, but you can't walk through them, and they're there, and you always click on the people, and it always brings up menus when you're trying just to talk to a vendor. And I even went into the menu to see if there was a menu where you can just ignore other players, so that way if you click on it, it just ignores it, and it'll click to the nearest waypoint or vendor. Hint, hint, if there's any developers listening to this, add a cursor and add a menu where you can ignore people. That would, if you got rid of that, that would genuinely fix 50% of my issues with the PS4 version. But until then, I will play the PC version every single down season for Diablo. It's free game, so you can't beat that. That's definitely a great thing about it. So it's definitely worth looking into. Even when you look at the forums, there's some people that say, no, I play Diablo, never look at Path of Exile. No, I play Path of Exile, never look at Diablo. I say play both. They're both fun, and they both are great in their own right. My warning is just don't play it on the console. And with that being said, that's my review of Path of Exile. Thank you guys for watching, and if you want more, just hit the like and subscribe button. Maybe leave a comment to see which game you want to see reviewed. And as always, thank you. Until next time.